The fact that white supremacists roam the halls of Congress freely and celebrate this little murderous white supremacist, and the fact that he gets to walk the streets freely, what are we to make of that?
Welcome to the modern Republican Party.
If you live in America, if you know the history of America, you're not surprised. He was a kid that took a gun across state lines and went and did what he did.
Welcome back to Unfiltered. The media constantly pushing false narratives about the Rittenhouse case, even after the verdict. So are they just building this case for Rittenhouse to sue them for defamation? Joining me now is Project 21 co-chairman Horace Cooper. Horace, thanks a lot for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Horace, I'm going to get to that defamation point in a second, but you know, the first point, a question more so I have for you is, you know, you see a bunch of, sadly, young black men and women across the country in urban areas run by liberals, you know, murdered every weekend. We could go through the list of names. We'll put some on the screen. These are real people with real lives gone, wiped out. And yet, who does the left now pick as a hero? Joseph Rosenbaum, a child rapist who was accused credibly at the scene, Horace, of dropping racial expletives at the scene. Joseph Rosenbaum is white. This is their new hero on the left. Kind of bizarre, right?
It's more than bizarre. The record of destruction and mayhem that has been wrought on so many communities in urban centers, particularly communities of color, would make you think that individuals like members of Congress or in the mainstream media would say, okay, we got to be very, very careful. Let's be more precise. Let's pick people that we're going to celebrate. Instead, they literally take what others overwhelmingly would refer to as human refuse to celebrate. A child rapist is not the model of us that we should celebrate. Regardless of the circumstance, the best you can do is say, let's put that to the side and we'll talk about it later. In this case, you have a criminal record that is unbelievably long and criminal action that the jury showed and believed led to his ultimate death. This is not a person to celebrate of any kind in any way.
Horace, I'd love to get your take on this. This reminds me of what David Horowitz refers to as the anti-communist theory, how guys like you and I are the anti-communists, right? We fight for liberty and freedom. And how the left are the anti-communists, meaning they don't care what you stand for, child rapists, whatever. As long as you're against people like us, you're on their team. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, there was a horror movie where the evil clown hid in the gutter, and I always thought, what a really weird thing, but it appears that's the model that we're seeing for the left. Go into the gutter. You know, they've coined a phrase they've made up. It's called anti-racist, and what it really means is racist. Doesn't mean anti. What it means is if you're for equality, like you and I, if you believe all citizens are equal before the law, like you and I, you're the problem. It's the anti-racist who are opposed to all of that, and the only reason they can really be opposed to that is because they are racist. They're bigots, and they say that they can look at you and they can look at me, and that's all they need to see, and they can pick who they favor. That's bigotry 101.
Horace, I got about 20 seconds left, but does he have a defamation case, Kyle Rittenhouse, or what do you think?
He was a minor when this whole case came about. Many of the statements occurred, and they didn't include any of the facts that were charged. He's not charged with vigilantism. He's not charged with being a white supremacist. None of the things that people like then candidate Joe Biden were saying, the New York Times or MSNBC were saying, and now there's been an acquittal. I tell you what, I bet on this Saturday night, he's sitting around and he's just wondering, this is Kyle Rittenhouse, when will the settlements come in? If I had to pick between the two people to represent as an attorney, Kyle Rittenhouse would be the side I'd join.
Thanks a lot, Horace. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.